Okay, welcome everybody. Good evening, and thank you for coming to the Fossil Detectives. My name is Mike Pincock, and I'm from the Sidmouth Science Festival, and I am delighted to introduce today's performance. This is the final event of the 2021 Sidmouth Science Festival, and it started last weekend with dinosaurs roaming the streets of Sidmouth, and it continued with a huge variety of presentations and children's activities last weekend, this weekend, and through the week. I'd like to take this opportunity while that picture is on the screen to thank our sponsors who've provided such valuable support. In fact, this is the 10th anniversary of our festival, and the aim has always been to promote curiosity in the young and to encourage everyone of all ages to engage with science in fun ways, including art, drama, music, and hands-on activities. And that brings us nicely to today's event, a live music drama celebrating one of our most famous local scientists, Mary Anning. So this is performed by the Electric Voice Theatre, the Voices for the Future virtual choir, and featuring work by children from our own Sidmouth CofE Primary School. So it looks like we're ready to start. Please welcome Emma Bernard, the Curator of Fossil Fish at the Natural History Museum, who will introduce the performance.
So hi everyone. As Mike said there, I'm Emma Bernard and I'm a paleontologist and I work at the Natural History Museum in London, where I'm the Curator of Fossil Fish. So it's my honour to welcome you all to this premiere of the Fossil Detectives. Now, I've had the privilege of being involved with this project from the very beginning, working with the brilliant director and composer, Francis M Lynch, and the extremely talented children from Sidmouth Church of England's primary school who have learned a lot about fossils, paleontology, and Mary Anning. Not only
that's just our audio.
But Jack Sewell, Karen Wimhurst, and Patricia Farah. They have written their own musical story about an ichthyosaur, which we'll be finding out about in the upcoming video. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing the outcome of all their hard work, including performances from the virtual choir and singers from the Electric Voice Theatre. I'm sure we're in for a real treat. I hope you enjoy the Fossil Detectives.
This event is part of the Voices for the Future project, funded by the National Lottery through Arts Council England and the Marcus Trust. Voices for the Future seeks to discover, honour and promote female voices past and present, and to inspire, guide and build diverse voices for the future. Tonight's voice is that of Mary Anning. There is a miracle here. Indeed, there are many miracles in this story. Many. But the first takes us back in time. Not quite as far as the dinosaurs, just 1,500 years ago, to the very north of England, and to the town of Whitby, where a very wise abbess is trying to resolve the problem of a plague of snakes that have invaded her abbey. So she drives them to the cliff edge and hurls them down to the beach below, where they turn into coiled stone. There they still lie, beneath the ruined abbey, the hill Docerus Emeritus, known to Mary Anning as St. Hilda's Snakes.
Lucis ante terminum rerum creatur oscillus
There are many legends around the life of St. Hilda, reflecting her importance not just to the community around her, but to the spread of Christianity in England. At the hour of her death, a nun claims to have seen angels bearing the body of St. Hilda heavenward.
Before the ending of the day, Creator of the world, we pray that thou with wonted love wouldst keep thy watch around us while we sleep. The night is come like to the day, depart not thou great God away, let not thy sins black as the night eclipse the lustre of thy light. O thou whose nature cannot sleep, upon my temple's sentry keep. Make my sleep a holy trance, while I rest my soul advance. My soul advance a holy trance. One to watch and one to pray, and two to carry my soul away. My soul away, my soul away, my soul away, my soul away.
St. Hilda's is one of the earliest women in the UK whose name is linked with fossils, but she's by no means the only one. Though it would be 1,000 years or more before the fossil detectives, chipping away at the evidence, began to uncover the secrets. Mary Anning was one of the most important of these detectives. And like St. Hilda, her life is shrouded in myth and legend and mystery. But her discoveries would shake the foundations of the faith that St. Hilda had established from Whitby and point to an earth that was older than anyone could have thought possible.
There were many miracles in Mary Anning's life. The miracle of rebirth.
Yes, a dull child made brighter by a lightning strike.
They thought she was dead, as indeed were all the others who unwisely hid under a tree.
Yes, until she was revived in a warm bath.
There were miraculous escapes from stormy seas, climbing the cliffs at Lyme Regis as they crumbled into the waves below.
Whoa! And from the cliffs themselves, which collapsed above her.
At one time killing her poor faithful dog.
There were so many near-fatal accidents. What about that letter written by her fellow fossil hunter, Elizabeth Philpott? She describes one of them, doesn't she?
She did. Yesterday, she had one of her miraculous escapes in going to the beach before sunrise and was nearly killed in passing over the bridge by the wheel of a cart, which threw her down and crushed her against the wall.
Fortunately, they stopped it in time. And, well, there's many legends and stories that have grown over the years as she gradually reappeared in the annals of history.
And not forgetting the song.
There's a song?
She shall see,
No, I don't think so. What was that?
That was the song. The song I was going to tell you about.
No, don't be silly.
Yes, you know the song. She sells seashells on the seashore.
Look, Sam,
The shells she sells are seashells, I'm sure. For if she sells seashells on the seashore,
no.
then I'm sure she sells seashore shells. Aha! Look, there are other people here who know the song, so I'm right.
Yes, but you see, it's not no.
It is. I'm sure it's the
not.
song.
It's not. It's not. No, she doesn't.
She does.
Look, she doesn't.
I thought she did.
I know, but really she didn't.
But the tongue twister is about her.
It's actually not about her.
But I thought it was.
Oh, I know a lot of people think that, but really it's not.
Who is it about then?
I don't know. Look, it's just a music hall song. It's got nothing to do with Mary Anning.
But what if she did sell shells as well?
She might have.
No, but she did. Look. Fossil, shell. No, that's a shell. That's a fossil. Look. She sold fossils. She sold. Look, she didn't sell shells. She sold fossils. She was an internationally recognized paleontologist. She found fossils of early marine life. She contributed to our understanding of time and to Darwin's theory of evolution. And she sent specimens across Europe for scientists to study, and she did her own study of coprolites.
What's a coprolite?
Coprolite?
It's dinosaur poo.
Yeah.
Oh, for goodness sake, it's 200 million years old. It doesn't smell. She sells seashells. She sells fossils on the seashore. The shells she sells are fossils, I'm sure. For if she sells fossils on the seashore, then I'm sure she sells fossil bones. Fossils, ichthyosaurs, ammonites, that kind of thing, you know. Look, her dog used to help her. They'd wait for a storm, right? So they'd wait for a storm that brought all the stuff down from the cliffs and unleashed the monsters hidden inside. They're not listening to me, are they? Oh. Look, I've created a storm specially from some meteorological data of a real storm from the 19th century, one which left many women alone to rebuild their communities. And this is the kind of storm that Mary Anning would have had.
State of sky, uncloud covering at times, nevertheless. State of sky, unclouded clouds, developing clouds coming developing clouds,
find me here on the beach at Lyme Regis. Come rain or shine, even when the storm clouds conspire with the howling ocean, I will be here on the beach at Lyme Regis, under Black Ven or Church Cliffs, or at the Ammonite graveyard. The world flows by me like a stream. I have been noticed by the cleverest men in England, and I can say what I like to whom I like. Say what I like. Why, the other day, the King of Saxony, bought a fossil from me. And I say to you what I said to him. I am well known, I am well known throughout the whole of Europe. I was born a dull child, so they say, but the elements decided to claim me. When I was a baby, my nurse took me to the horse fair at Rackfield. Cumulonimbus, cumulonimbus. Where did she take us? Under a tree, stupid woman. A vivid discharge of electric fluid. A thunderclap, and she was dead. But I lived a brighter, happier child. They said, a God that lives on high, that surveys, that rides across the stormy skies, and something sees. My father, Richard Anning, he taught me how to see the Curies in their hiding place. None of your Latin then. There was vertebraries, sea lilies, serpent stones, sea lilies, amos, scuttle, crocodile teeth, St. Hilda snakes, thunderbolts. My father, Richard Anning, he was a great man. I was his merry girl. Vertebraries, devils, thorns, sea lilies, serpent stones, sea lilies, sea lilies. It is here at Black Ven that the crocodiles lie. My father fell from black then, and once it fell on me. My dog, Terry, was killed. Waterbury lilies, those who care for me die. But I must submit to Providence. She only afflicts for wise purposes. Let good or ill betide. Say lilies, thy will they all perform. Say lilies, deep in thy breast my head I hide, nor fear the coming storm. My father and my dog Terry. Tide permitting, I am up at first light. I get my pick, chisel, hammer, and my basket, and down to the beach. At low water, you can walk by the shore, but once the tide is up, you have to climb the cliffs to get back. Those with time on their hands can admire the view. I am always looking down. In 1828, winter storms, I found a dragon, Pterodactylus macronix, a small-toothed insectivore, 4-foot wings and tiny teeth, half bird, half lizard, a vampire, a monster, Pterodactylus macronix. Pterodactylus macronix, a vampire. The mighty thoughts of an old word fan like a dragon's wings unfurled, fan like a dragon's wings unfurled. Why would God create such a creature, a God and nature then at strife, that nature lent such evil dreams? Ye worms of earth, arise, ye creatures of a day. Be bold, be wise, and cast your cares away. The world has used me unkindly. I have been called prim, pedantic, shrewish, vinegar-looking, fossil, old maid, and worse. I have endured the bitterest trials, the cruelest poverty, the cruelest poverty, and bought fainting from the beach just to put food on the table. Let good or ill betide, it must be good for me. It is that I am all alone. I weep that I am I asked the Reverend Buckland, what was the first living thing upon the earth? Was it the Belemnites or the trilobites that now lie petrified here at Lyme? He said, the petrified remains provide a chain of evidence to the continuous being of the one living and true God. But I think that we know nothing of creation, nothing of causes, nothing of space and time. We are ignorant, we are ignorant, for hardly do we guess aright of the things that are on earth, and with labor do we find the things that are before us. But the things that are in heaven, who hath searched out? Who hath searched out?
Talia! Florence! Are you there? Talia! Oh, Talia! Do you think that was Mary Anning?
I think so.
Oh my goodness! Do you think she knows where Ixie the Ichthyosaur is?
I'm not sure. Maybe our song will help her find her.
Your song? Oh my goodness! Can you guys from Sidmouth CofE Primary tell us about your song? Is Florence there? And Nonna?
Not Nana, but Florence is.
Oh, I think Nonna's there too now, Talia. Florence? Florence,
Are you
are you there? Florence, can you take yourself off mute so we can hear you? Yes, excellent.
We read about the living fossils and how Ixie died 2 million years ago.
Uh-huh. Florence? What else? What else?
Florence says the next line.
Come on, Florence, tell us. What's the next bit? Is it a part of this, how Ixie became a fossil? Tell me, tell me. Uh-huh.
Oh,
So, that's okay. All right. What about Talia? Can you tell me a bit more?
Nonna's one is next.
Nonna, are you there?
Yes.
Ah, we can't see you. Can you turn your camera on?
No, I can't. It's
Oh,
not
if you
working.
don't worry. If you can't, then. Ah.
We were the fossil detectives. We had to think about where to look for her.
Okay. Wow. What else?
Florence is next.
Florence. I think, Florence, can you turn up your volume? I'd love to hear what you're saying.
Florence is talking about the fossil scientists, aren't you, Florence?
Aha.
Who use microscopes. But I think Mary Anning only had her eyes.
Oh, goodness me. Who helped Francis write the song?
We helped Francis write the chorus for the song.
Okay. And who did the film? Was it a man called...
Florence says that.
And was it Jack? Was it Jack who did the film?
Yeah, we worked with Jack to make her elixir for the film.
Aha. And then, finish for us, Talia.
That's me.
And Nonna. Is it you, Nonna?
Then we worked to put it all together to make our mega song for Mary Anning.
A mega song. Let's listen to the mega song. Great work, everyone.
Mary Anning was a fossil lightning struck her as a baby, and from nothing she worked so hard. But now we're singing for Mary Anning. Now we're singing for Mary Anning and her gold-named train. Living fossils, living fossils, living fossils, living fossils, living easy sources, megalodon fossils, terracing and living an easy source, living megalodon, terracing and ichthyosaur, A long time ago, about 200 million years, in fact an ancient dinosaur was walking on land. And in the warm waters of the equator, a fish lizard, Ichthyosaurus, or Ichthyu, was very much alive. She could smell, taste, hear and touch her food. Ichthyosaurus. Ixie was dancing peacefully with her flippers about 200 million years ago. Ixie was dancing with her flippers. Ixie was dancing with her flippers. And with the other ichthyosaurs. Look out! A plesiosaur was hiding in the slacky rocks. It could stop with paddles, long neck reached out. A ferocious animal with powerful tools to attack Ixie. It was a terrible fight. Blood goes everywhere. Ixie was badly wounded. She died when a big wave dashed her against the rocks. It squashed her in the deep sand. Fossils, stuck in the mud, in the mud, in the mud. Fossils, stuck in the mud. Cretaceous, Jurassic, Triassic, Mesozoic. Cretaceous, Jurassic, Triassic, Mesozoic. Deep in the mud, Ixie got stuck. Deep in the mud, Ixie got stuck. Then sedimentary rock formed on top. Ixie over time. Ixie over time. Waiting. 200 million years for Mary Anning to free her with her basket and hammer. Layers of sand, layers of mud. Squelch, squelch, squelch. Mud makes rock. Bang, bang, bang. Pressing down on Ixie. Water starts creeping in. Water starts creeping in. Leaves start turning into stone. Waiting. 200 million years for Mary Anning to free her with her basket and hammer. Mary Anning was a fossil hunter, skillful, determined paleontologist. Lightning struck her as a baby, and from nothing she worked so hard. But now we're singing for Mary Anning. Now we're singing for Mary Anning. And her golden flames detectives, fossil detectives, the nosy parkers, the nosy parkers, fossil detectives, fossil detectives, ammonites, belemnites, coprolites, trilobites. We're looking for fossils, tip, tip, tap. We're finding curiosities, tip, tip, tap. We're searching for Ixies. Do, 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 do. In the town, cars revving, from people talking, bells ringing, dogs barking, rain. In the town, there are thousands of fossils. You can find them in walls of shopping malls. Ammonites, belemnites, coprolites, trilobites. We're looking for fossils, tip, tip, tap. We're finding curiosities, tip, tip, tap. We're searching for Ixies. Do, 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 do. In the quarry, lorries reversing. Diggers. Explosion. Tools. Mud. In the quarry there are thousands of fossils. We find them after explosion. Ammonites, belemnites, coprolites, trilobites. We're looking for fossils, tip, tip, tap. We're finding curiosities, tip, tip, tap. We're searching for Ixies. Do, 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 do. In the cliffs. Mud. Sounds of tools. And the cliffs, there are thousands of fossils. You can find them after waves have crashed. Ammonites, belemnites, coprolites, tidal lights. We're looking for fossils, tip, tip, tap. We're finding curiosities, tip, tip, tap. We're searching for ixies. Do, 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 do. We found a skeleton of a creature who lived long ago. Long ago. Mary Anning was a fossil hunter, skillful, determined paleontologist. Lightning struck her as a baby, and from nothing she worked so hard. But now we're singing for Mary Anning. Now we're singing for Mary Anning and her gold-named train. Fossil scientists. 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 Paleontologists. Start to smash the rock with a hammer. We smashed up the Start to smash the rock with a hammer. It has a long nose and bony fins. Wow! Whoa! I found its poo! I found its poo! It's so exciting! It's exciting! It's so exciting! So exciting! So exciting! What's inside this hard rock? What's inside this hard rock? What is this old boo? Could it be Exie? Sliced it up. Look at the screen. Sliced it up. Look at the microscope. Mary Anning only had her sharp eyes. Mary Anning only had her sharp eyes. What's inside this hard rock? What's inside this hard rock? What is this old boo? Could it be Exie? I found fish scales. Scan the fish shells. Scan the fish shells. I found an ammonite. Scan the ammonite. Scan the ammonite. Scan the ammonite. You sliced it up. Looked on the screen. You sliced it up. Looked on the microscope. Mary Anning only had her sharp eyes. Mary Anning only had her sharp eyes. We found Exie! Mary Anning was a fossil hunter, skillful, determined paleontologist. Lightning struck her as a baby, and from nothing she worked so hard. But now we're singing for Mary Anning. Now we're singing for Mary Anning and her gold-named train.
Raising horizons! Raising horizons! Raising. raising horizons.
Well, such hard work by Mary Anning. And now the Squirrels Class from Sidmouth CofE Primary School is hard to follow. But today there are many hard-working women in earth sciences, like Emma Bernard from the National History Museum, who we met earlier, and she's been helping us with our project. But there are many, many more. Dr. Anjana Katwa, Dr. Katie Strang, Dr. Yasmin Scarlett, Dr. Emily Mitchell, oof. And these are just a few whose work we've encountered. We hope that the children will follow in their footsteps and make fossils and music part of their lives. For now, though, you will need to do some hard work and help Mary Anning and some of the other women fossil hunters she knew.
Yes. Good point, Sam. It's time everybody got involved. So we need to do some digging. So if you can put your screens on, get your mutes on, but put your screens on, and you can get out your trowel. And we're going to dig like this, way in front, and then we're going to dig above. We're going to go, and then we're going to get some mud off our trowels, like that. And then we're going to use our 2 feet to make some footprints for the past. Okay, so everybody's hiding behind their screens there. So it takes for everybody to join in. Here we go. And above, get the bit above you. Oh, and then get the mud off the trowel. Here we go. And then your footsteps. Here we go. 2 of them. 1, 2. Trailblazers. And you can sing along as well. Trailblazers. Trailblazers. Finding footprints of the past. Okay. Let's have more people on screen. Let's see you digging. That's us. It's very easy. Geology. That's us. Archaeology. That's finding footprints of the past. Wait, but no woman. Geology. In every outthrust headland. In every curving beach. Archaeology. In every grain of sand. There is a story of the earth. There is a story of geology. Archaeology. Archaeology. Paleontology. Paleontology. Right, you've had time to think about it now. So let's get those video cameras on, get those trowels out, and let's have a go. One last go of digging before we go. You never know what we might find here. They are on my religious beach after all. Life and death. So trowels at the ready. Archaeology, blazers, ecology, that's us. Archaeology, blazers, ecology, that's us. Archaeology, blazers, ecology, that's finding footprints of the past. Wait, but no, that's woman. Well, I think we've waited long enough. And Mary Anning's fossil finder friends waited long enough too.
Charlotte Murchison taught her husband the geology he was famous for.
You see?
Mary Lyle's husband took all the credit for her and her sister's work on shell collections. Elizabeth Philpott's significant role in the work of many important male earth scientists was somehow written out of history. And Mary Anning, well, she had to sell her fossils just to survive. Despite her expertise being recognised throughout Europe, she suffered grinding poverty most of her life.
Time and tide and tectonics wait for no woman. Time will not wait. Wait, we know we're woman. Time and tide and tectonics wait for no
Minerva Scientifica, Minerva Scientifica, Scientifica. Raising horizons, horizons.
Let's have a big round of applause for the children. Can you come back in, children? Can you come back in? Let's see you. Let's see you. Where are you? I can't find you all. There's Florence. There she is. Take a big bow. Is Nonna there?
Yeah, she's
Nonna, you're there. Take a big bow.
There you go.
Thank you. And all the other children who are here, yes, we don't know quite who you are, so you'll have to just take a bow and we are giving you an applause anyway. Well done, well done. Very good.
Don't you, pussycat?
And a big round of applause for Sam, our singer, and Lauren, our BSL interpreter, and Herbie, who's doing all the jiggery-pokery behind the scenes, and the virtual choir. Where are you, virtual choir? Well done to you. And well done to Emma Bernard and Jack Sewell and Carl Lewis, who did so much work in our workshops as well. Well done. And finally, we're going to welcome our illustrious patron, Uta Frith, who's the Emeritus Professor of Cognitive Development at University College London's Institute of Cognitive Neuroscience. And she knows a thing or two about Mary Anning. Just before we ask if you've got any questions.
Thank you, Francis. That was really such a lovely film. I was completely amazed how much you all know about paleontology and about fossils. And I imagine that some of you will actually become the scientists who study the beginnings of life on Earth and find and discover more fossils. They're such amazing objects because they were once living animals. And I think that fossils are incredible because they're the proof for us that these animals actually existed. So I have brought my fossil here, an ammonite, and of course I didn't find it, I bought it. But before you can even, buy them or study them, you have to find them. And that is a great art. So when Mary Anning was born more than 200 years ago, I think people didn't even know there were fossils. And they had to actually learn to see them in the rocks. You can't, you might look at the rocks and see absolutely nothing, but if you have a trained eye, then suddenly you notice things. And Mary Anning was able to see these things better than anyone else. Now, after finding them, she had to get them out of the rocks very, very carefully. And I believe sometimes with the help of people with more than little hammers, but really helping her to get them all out. Again, she was better at this than anybody else. And then when she got all the bits, she had to put them together like the pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. And then scientists from the big universities came to Mary Anning and bought the fossils from her. Of course, you've already heard it was the only way she could earn some money to support herself and her family, and it wasn't even very much. So the scientists from the universities got the fame for the discoveries of the ancient dinosaurs. They made drawings, they measured them, they wrote books about them, they put them in museums. And they worked out from the fossils that the dinosaurs had lived an incredibly long time ago, long before human beings lived there. And how long ago was that? Well, you said it was 200 million years ago that the dinosaurs lived at the Jurassic coast. And when did you think humans came along? They only came along around 200,000 years ago. Of course, 200 million years ago, the Earth looked completely different from what it is now, and the climate was very different from what it is now. It was hot and humid, and England was a collection of islands. Maybe it was a little bit like the Caribbean. And it's really amazing that we haven't any idea that dinosaurs existed. And it was only because some of them turned into stone and fossil finders found them. So the academic scientists and the scholars did feel grateful to Mary Anning. Without her discoveries, they would not have had anything to write about. So today, Mary Anning has been celebrated. Thank you for that. She is also more and more recognized in movies even, and of course in museums. And she's even been on postage stamps and on coins. Now, it took an 11-year-old schoolgirl called Evie Swire to start a campaign with the help of her mother and some other people to raise money for a statue of Mary Anning. So they choose the name Mary Anning Rocks for the campaign. And many people contributed so that the statue could be made. And I believe this is a picture of what the statue will look like. You can see Mary Anning striding on the beach with her basket, with her hammer, ready to find fossils. And you can see even the little dog, Tray. And this statue will not be very far from Sidmouth, not very far from you. It will be in Lyme Regis, of course, the place where Mary Anning lived. And there will be a special event when the statue is ready, probably next May. And I believe that Electric Voice Theatre will be doing something special for this event.
Bye.
And there will be a new song, and I'm looking forward to that. Now, you've told us lots and lots of facts. We've learned lots of things about Mary Anning, but there are some more fun facts that I've collected. So Mary was born to a very poor family, and they had 10 children, but only Mary and her brother Joseph survived. You told us that Mary learned from her father how to find the fossils, but she also often worked with her brother on the cliffs. And one other thing is quite interesting to know about her. She was really very lucky to go to a school. It wasn't really common at the time for people to go to school and to learn to read and write. So she did learn to read and write. Now, do you know how old she was when she made her most spectacular discovery? She was only 12 years old. And this is when she uncovered the skeleton that she thought looked like a crocodile, and it was over 5 meters long. And this, of course, is your Ixie, the fish lizard. And fish lizard is the same as Ichthyosaurus, which is the name that the scientists used. And you made a wonderful work of art of Ixie. Now, Mary made another amazing discovery about 10 years later, the Plesiosaurus. That's a dinosaur with a very, very long neck. And then she found a dinosaur who could fly, the pterodactyl, Pterodactylus macronix. Amazing, even amazing, even today. So you know that Mary set up a shop selling her finds, and many visitors came to the shop from all over Europe, You heard already that one of the visitors was the King of Saxony, and he asked her to write her name in his pocketbook. And also perhaps the most famous paleontologist of the time, Louis Agassiz, traveled from Switzerland to visit her, and he thanked her for her help. Now, a sad thing is that Mary died of cancer when she was only 48 years old. And I think all the paleontologists at the time must have been very sad. One of them wrote a very nice tribute to her in a science magazine, and the title was Mary Anning Fossil Finder. I like the sound of it. It's almost as good as your fossil detectives label. Now, I'm very happy that the Royal Society, which is one of the oldest scientific academies in the world, has named Mary Anning as one of the 10 most important British women in science. This was 10 years ago. And I remember that at that time, I was actually able to vote for her to be one of the major British women of science. I think Mary would have been incredibly pleased and delighted to see your marvelous artwork completed as a jigsaw puzzle. It really is a most splendid picture of the Ichthyosaurus, and Mary had to put it also together for many pieces like you did. Now, you can read more about Mary Anning on the website minervascientifica.co.uk, and this has lots of links to other sites. And of course, you can also visit the Natural History Museum and see some of her most famous discoveries there. And that's all I wanted to say to you.
Thank you very much, Uta. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks, Mike, and many thanks to the Sidmouth Science Festival. It's been absolutely brilliant to be here doing the fossil detectives with all the people who were involved. This is just a list of some of them. All these people put this together. Talia and Florence and Nonna, whose name isn't there because we didn't know you were coming, Nonna, sorry. But yes, Emma, Professor Uta Frith, Jack, Dr. Patricia Farah, Judith Bingham, the composer of the Mary Anning piece I did, and Karen Wimmerth, who helped them with the composing. And then a special thanks, of course, to Sidmouth Festival and to the squirrels at Sidmouth CofE School. Yay! And Anya and Evie at Mary Anning Rocks, and Rose at the Geological Society, all of whom have helped us in so many ways to put this together and get it right. And our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful virtual choir. Martin, May, David, Catherine, Angela and Lynn were singing tonight. They didn't all come in person, but they were all singing. You can join us every Tuesday at 6:30. We're going to be singing about the mycologist and author Beatrix Potter coming up. And if you've got nothing else to do at half term, write a song about Beatrix Potter and her miraculously incredible fungi, because she had done amazing things. And if you go to our website, electricvoicetheatre.co.uk, you'll find out all about it. So do enter for that competition. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye. Voices for the future.